Hi, I'm Ruth Asprey, a women's health champion, therapeutic and wellbeing and fitness coach, supporting women to navigate midlife hormone changes and thrive. I'm based in Wales with clients all over across the UK.
Hi, and I'm Lizzie. I'm a pelvic health specialist physio working in both the NHS and private sector in North Wales.
And welcome back to Oops, I Peed My Pants, the podcast that's here to break the silence, smash the spigot and get real about female incontinence. This series, Series 2, we're supporting women to get into or to get back to health and to get back to movement and fitness with practical advice to help you exercise with confidence without your pelvic floor calling the shots. It's a no fluff, no holds bar talk, and this series we're also going to be supporting SHEULTRA, aren't we, Lizzie?
Yeah, so this little episode is a special interview we did with Huw Williams, who founded SHEULTRA. So this is a women's only event taking place in North Wales, and it's like you said, it's aimed at getting ladies moving and making it accessible for them. So we're supporting this event, aren't we, Ruth, with this podcast series on basically how to keep moving without your pelvic health issues, so bowel, bladder problems, calling all the shots or stopping you being active.
Absolutely. So, listeners, it's a very short episode. We hope you enjoy it. We enjoyed recording it. He's a hugely inspirational figure, and we could have spoken to him for hours. So, introducing Huw Williams, the founder of SHEULTRA. To have on the show this evening Huw Williams, who is the founder of the SHEULTRA event, which is, we just saying to in our preview for our series 2, Huw. This is all be the series 2 of our Oops, I Peed My Pants podcast is going to be how we support women to get moving, either, for the first time or just maybe after post baby, but it's really about supporting her with the right information. So, and we're hugely excited to be supporting you with the SHEULTRA. So, listeners, we have Huw Williams and Lizzie.
Oh yes, I don't feel like I'm as much of a celebrity as Huw.
I'm no way a celebrity. What I am, though, is I'm a geek. I don't know if other listeners, whenever they're listening to podcast, I'm just writing notes because I find podcasts just a great place to, whenever you hear something really interesting, especially on podcasts like this, it's like they're a source of information to rewind, re-listen, and think, oh, do you know what? I'm going to chat to somebody about this, or I'm going to research that, or chat GPT it, sort of thing. So no, I think these podcasts, especially because it's niche, are priceless.
No, absolutely.
I'm also a frantic note taker, I have to say.
Yeah, we're with you on that. And I think the aim with this podcast series, Huw, is that the content that we're going to be talking about, because we're going to be talking about the symptoms, so all the symptoms and challenges that she faces, both physically and mentally, in terms of getting out there, getting moving. And then we'll be interviewing some what are we calling them, Lizzie? Special guests. You're our first special guest. Special guests. But also medical professors and people. We're going to do deeper dives into the symptoms throughout the series. So our first one, we'll be talking about the lovely prolapse, which I know Lizzie is really excited about. Anyway, we are really pressed for time today, viewers. So I'm going to hand over to Huw. I'm going to ask you the first opening question, Huw, to give us in a kind of like overview of the SHEULTRA event and what really drove you to creating this brilliant event on our beautiful North Wales coastline.
I think what's really handy is that we've only got 9 minutes to tell it, so I'm not going to waffle. I'm not going to go on these massive big Huw stories.
Ruth did all the waffling.
I do waffle, yeah.
I've been organising events on the Llyn Peninsula in North Wales for coming up to 11 years this year. I was also an ultra runner, but I wouldn't put myself down as one of these proper runners. I was mid-packer, walker and talker. I've done a few big races like Marathon des Sables, but I wasn't sort of that avatar kind of I was more of like somebody who would go out there to enjoy it. You know, like the mentality. Whenever you're there, it's like, oh, let's have new friends, take some photos. That was it. I was diagnosed the tail end of 2019 with inoperable neuroendocrine cancer. I noticed my fitness deteriorated 2017 when I came back from MDS. I thought I picked up some sort of bug from the desert, but then 2018 into 2019, my fitness just dropped through the floor, and it was quite unsettling. And I think especially if you are active, say if I'd just been somebody who was inactive, I wouldn't really have noticed the severe
No, right, yeah.
And I think if you make yourself active, if you're non-active, it gives you a good guesstimate if things aren't right.
Yeah.
Because like naturally our body feels well, you know, but if you're not out and about as much, you're not going to be able to see, oh, that doesn't feel right because of movement. Anyway, so the tail end of 2019, collapsed in the kitchen, shooting pains in my lower back, and you know, after being in hospital at Gwynedd in the A&E, they said, "Look, Huw, you've got cancer." And the first thing you ask is how long I've got left to live. So they don't know. Where is it? We're not quite sure. It's definitely in your stomach area, your small bowel, but they didn't know anything else. So I was in hospital for several months. The primary is in my small bowel, secondary is in my liver, and the neuroendocrine cancer, which you learn to spell very quickly if you've been diagnosed with it, is a hybrid. Now, this is where there's quite a link where one of the symptoms, as well as having like a bad stomach and so on, is you flush. So especially pre or menopausal women who might think that it is the change or the menopause, it might be neuroendocrine cancer. And what we do is, just as humans, we make the abnormal very normal quite quickly. We'll rationalize with something that isn't happening. So the flushing is caused by the hormones. I was really unfortunate that the hormones serotonin wore out 3 of my heart valves. So I had to have open heart surgery the start of 2020. 2 weeks later, it was COVID, sent home, was too ill to come back into hospital. So sent home to die. The ambulance came out several times. And because I was in isolation, I didn't see any other people. At that time, you know, you like to keep your brain active. So I was just like, you know, your brain drifts because you're in bed, you're in complete solitude. And an idea came up through me. I was like, right, you know, I've always been heavily into fundraising, and I was like, right, okay, there's a race for life. There's the Moonwalk in London, but there isn't an ultra marathon for women. But all levels of women can take part, and we can attach various women's cancer charities and projects. And that was where it was born. It was born. I didn't even know whenever I came up with the idea if I'd see the first one. You know, I was that sick because it took me. Whenever I had my open heart surgery, I went into AF as well. So as well as being with cancer and being really ill, my heart had to be strong enough to start radiotherapy the following year, but it wasn't, and I wasn't getting any traction. So I was like, this is like a legacy kind of thing that I've been kept to do. And then that's where the idea of the SHEULTRA, and I have gone in, but then we don't have to listen to that bit again. The first one, 2024, 500 women took part. Last year, 1,500 women took part. This year, we've got 3,000. The last 3 years, first year, it was the only women's ultramarathon in the world. We've been the biggest for the last 3 years. This year, we are the biggest ultramarathon in the UK. That's mixed or just single sex.
Oh, so my goodness, that's amazing. So the biggest ultra marathon, full stop, is
bigger than Lakeland, bigger than UTS, but it's you know, we've got walkers, hikers, runners, you know, elites down to first timers, and I think once you witness or speak to somebody who's done the SHEULTRA, your penny starts to drop. These are the people that take part are the people that potentially on the aid stations or cheering you on, because we all want our moment, and sometimes we give it to other people rather than just, you know, sharing it back into ourselves. And that's why it's really took off. And the amount of women's cancer charities that we've been able to help, the medium-sized ones.
Yeah.
We've also, we've developed. We've got a project where we're putting nurses into like real life training. So we've got the SHEULTRA Nightingales now, and that's headed up by a GP, SHEULTRA, who does quite a lot of work with other women's
she's
cancer
brilliant,
charities.
GP, isn't she?
Yeah, she's really good. And what we did was, whenever it's like the SHEULTRA's sort of like taking, it's like our big sister. The SHEULTRA's now showing us what to do and what projects to work on. And I came up with the idea, and I was like, should we do a breast check video on a mannequin, like the mannequins, and show women how to do it properly? Because sometimes it's the same with lads with with their balls. You'll just, oh yeah, I've checked it, and then she shows how to do it. She's got a lovely temperament, and it's saved lives. We've got girls on the team who have done it, unfortunately found lumps, and they've gone in to have surgery on the back of it. But it's what we're trying to do is get the SHEULTRA is like a platform for us to be able to get in front of women who wouldn't normally see a kind of video or have a conversation about certain things. Because like yourself, we're speaking with yourselves about what you do, but we also there's little things at the time of registration when you go in to get your your bib and your t-shirt. There's only 3 or 4 male members allowed in there, and they've all been DBS checked. They're all part of the team, but that allows us to have a domestic violence stand in there, and women can go incognito to ask for more information. The first year,
that's great.
It's just, and yeah, it's very disruptive to your normal type of ultra or race, but
yeah,
humans have evolved. We've evolved into not a one box fits all demographic, and this is where it just shows. And the recce's, we had the recce for the walkers and the runners this weekend, and there was 200 of them, and it was like unbelievable. It's liberating, and obviously, because I'm right in the middle of it, I'm really passionate about it. But if you speak to anybody that's taken part, they're like, wow. So the event itself is just a very small part of the SHEULTRA, which is...
The event is the platform, isn't it? And it's the community building, and it's what brings the women together. And I just think it's, we're really excited to support and, give you the content that you need in order to have those conversations with women. What were you going to ask, Lizzie? You were going to say something.
I remember now. Oh, there's a couple of things. Yeah, because I think I first heard about it, Huw, last year, and I wasn't really sure what it was about. And then I've heard it again. Oh, Lizzie, come on, you're going to do the blah. And then I looked. I think everybody that I've spoken to about it has just said how amazing it is. I honestly now, Lizzie, you've got to do it. It's so amazing. It's such a massive buzz. It's like nothing I've ever done before. We've got people in the gynae department at work that are doing it, and everybody's doing their own little thing. And I think the lovely thing about it is there's no sort of competition. It's more like your own thing, isn't it? There's no one going, oh, you're walking it. Oh, that's a shame. I'm going to run it. It's not like everyone feels okay about walking it. They're like, no, it's brilliant. You can walk, you can run. And I think the best bit in the whole world is that there's no time cut off, because I think it's so your normal elite ultras are so elite. You couldn't even think about it, could you? There's just no way I'd ever be able to do anything like that. It's just made it so
the non-competitiveness of it, and the
so
fact
accessible is fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
And the thing is, you'll although whenever I was a runner, I'd be in ultra marathons that had cut-offs. My approach to it, and I'm lucky that I've got a kind of John Noakes, Fred Dibner kind of mentality for our older listeners. I didn't have a cut-off in my brain. It's like, right, so, but it just removes that. So if some go on to do other races, if it's their first ever ultra or distance, they've got the confidence.
Yeah. And that's we were just talking about that, actually. Confidence, and having the confidence is one of the key barriers to women to just getting up and doing it again. Now, Huw, we know you've got the event, the one in March on the 10K one, because I'm doing that one and we've also got some other ladies doing the 10. Lizzie's doing the 50.
Get in, Lizzie.
Lizzie is doing the 50. Tell us about the 10K one as well in March, because that's super. That's just brilliant that you're doing that.
So last year, again, it's trying to get the conversation in front of quite a few people. So if you're not doing the SHEULTRA, you might have a friend that's doing the SHEULTRA. So then you get into, breast checking or not going to the doctors. It comes on your horizon. The Feel Good 10K, anybody can walk a 6 mile or jog a 6 mile or run a 6 mile. So the Feel Good 10K is all about feel good, as in we've got the mannequin there with acid checking. We've also got, so it's the Feel Good's going to roll out UK and overseas, because we've already got SHEULTRAs in Italy and Portugal. So so it gets that conversation. There is going to be a virtual Feel Good as well. And whenever we send the medals out, so the medals will have a card like that.
Yeah.
And whenever they arrive, there's a there's a QR code. Scan that with your phone, and it's got that professional video of Esses demonstrating how to check your breasts. And it's got subtitles on it as well, because sometimes, whenever you don't want people to see what you're looking at, if it's personal, it's really, we've thought long and hard how to present it and stuff. So that's what that, and it's on International Women's Day, which is so exciting.
And have you still got entries? Is it still, people can still enter that today? You've still got spaces?
They can still sign up. The SHEULTRA is almost completely filled. We'll be opening up the waiting list, because we've just we allocate around 250 free charity places, as well as individual. We work a lot with the National Running Charity.
Yeah.
So we give a lot of free places there, but there is a few places left for the SHEULTRA. For the 10K, I think we've got about 50 places left.
Brilliant. Okay, so we'll put some links up to both in the show notes, and then we'll be sharing this. So, Huw, it's really wonderful to meet you. We will have you on again. We're gonna our podcast will go on until March, April.
Let's talk for 22 minutes. Whenever they say in fitness you want to create the curve about 20%. So we've done 15. Let's do maybe 27 minutes next time.
27 minutes to do the curve. Hey, that's a new one on me. No, we will get you back on. This is to go. So this will be going out with our sort of prelude show about series 2. So we will get you.
We'll get you back on it.
Prelude. Not prelude. The pre.
I know. I was just thinking, because you're talking about pelvic flooring. If there was a lube to help with that.
I see what you did there. That's great.
Yeah, that's very good.
It is one of our top tips.
This is going out in our introductory show, but we will get you back on. We'll get you back on for March. I'll be there in March, as will a couple of other ladies, because it's just been a really kind of it's a no-brainer, really, the 10K. And even if you I've got a couple of ladies that are coming, and they're kind of like, I'm like, well, you can walk it, you can do anything, we can do anything, and we're going to meet up and come along.
And if you're not quite there yet on a personal level, and you want to do it in your own time, in your own place, the virtual one where you get the lovely medal, that's going to be. I think we were just sorting out the finalising the designs for the virtual one, and then that's going to be people, because I think
you could do that on a treadmill. You could do it going up and down your stairs, in your back garden. It doesn't matter, does it?
No, and it's because it's about you, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I know. Before we go, I know what I wanted to ask. I wasn't quite sure, Huw. What you mentioned, Nightingale nurses. Did I hear that right?
Nightingale. That's what I've called them. So yeah. So
And who are these? Who are they? Sorry.
so our head GP is you're Llamberian. So our
Yeah,
head GP is Essex,
yeah.
and then we've got Sioned. Do you know Sioned? She's from Nevin. She's also a GP, I think, in and around where.
John and Entley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Near
No,
Alberson, the mountain goat. We've got Fiona as well. You know Fiona and Huw from.
Yeah.
And then on the outskirts of the top tier of the Nightingales, we've got Mike Haysbert. He's Skelmersdale Harrier, but he also works in whenever you have had like something majorly wrong, he is an A&E and he gets you on the trolley and he starts working on you. And then we've got the various nurses, different divisions. The amount of support the girls have is incredible. Like we'll speak more in like next time, but we've got, as well as the extra toilets, we're not just lip service. So there's hygiene bags. There's also you see those camp toilet, like the place where you go for a shower on holiday. It's like a big tent. So we've got about 7 of those in rural parts of the course. But say if you want to change your pad, if you come on and stuff. So there's a SHEULTRA ambassador, sat outside there. If you just need to clean yourself up, if you're not near a toilet or one of the aid stations, and it just I think anything, a lot, sometimes people might think an excuse is a reason not to do something. So any personal excuses that we can remove, and because it just makes such a difference, and say like each aid station is an area for you to pump. If your partner is in the car and wants to, bring the baby for you to, breastfeed directly, we give. So there's the tiny fine tuning that we do to make sure that there isn't anything that's going to put somebody off, or just like make them, amplify like some overwhelm or something,
Yeah, that's amazing.
Brilliant.
Genius.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Well, listen, Huw, thank you so much for joining us at the last minute this evening. Sorry we had to do a quick short overview, but we will be having you back on, and we will be
letting me back on. Thanks for letting me back on.
We will you will be coming back on. And thank you for all that you're doing. I mean, it's really brilliant and we're really excited to support you in any which way we can.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Oh, thanks very much and enjoy the rest of your week.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, take care.